I really want to credit Chico State. They tested us, and when you play in an exhibition season, you hope to learn a lot about your team and be challenged. And I think we learned a lot about ourselves, and they challenged us with an experienced, rugged, physical, strong team, and I really commend them on that. I loved our guys fight in the second half. Playing with seven players certainly isn't our benefit, but we had a number of guys learn a lot, and I think our effort was very good. Defensively, the last 10 seconds of possessions against an older, experienced team who does a great job moving the ball, you have to have that resolve and will. And we had so many different possessions where we broke down in the final 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And that's something that a younger group will learn. But happy with our second half, and it was good to see Lowry rebound the ball like he did in the second half. He had 0 rebounds in the first half, which really hurt our team. And in the second half, he had 7, which is a great turnaround for him.
As you move forward, you're going to be young all year against older guys. Just how you think that's going to be? It's going to take you some time.
It's going to be hard. I think every game is going to be a challenge. With chance, we're a much different team. You can't underestimate 6'11", offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder, the ability to give us great size and depth up front, and somebody who can score as well. Playing without him, playing with him. Any team would miss that, but we're anxious to get him back. And I think that against Michigan State, as long as everything here checks out over the next couple of days, that he should be back and with us.
And just regarding just the overall picture, are you a patient man? Because obviously you're very young and have a senior and a lot of underclassmen guys. Are you a patient man?
I'm not patient. We're going to try to win every game, and it's not like everyone's going to understand if we don't. It's about us getting better, though, and holding ourselves accountable. I think tonight is the type of experience that you learn a lot about yourself. I mean, you can practice, you can show film, you can have meetings, but not until you play against another team and sit on the same bench do you get a sense that a lot of the things that we're trying to do every day in practice, we're doing those things to prepare you as an individual player to be successful in the game. So I think for Kobe, for Raleigh, for Lowry, even Keanu, tonight was a great experience for them.
It seems like Kobe brings you a defensive energy, Sean, and kind of maybe that energy helped turn that first half for you.
I didn't follow you.
Kobe's energy, it seems like defensively he brings in energy to the floor, and it seemed like that defensive energy was what helped turn that first half.
Yeah.
What did you like about that?
He did a good job.
The energy, or not energy, but the leadership that you see from Kadeem, he's got to be encouraged.
Kadeem's awesome. I mean, at a time when everybody cares about leaving Arizona as fast as you can, leaving college basketball as fast as you can, he's the example of the young guy that has just bought in, has worked, has sacrificed, has become a really good player. He is our heart and soul in many ways, certainly the leader of the team, and he's earned it. He works hard at what he does every day, plays both ends. Is he perfect? No, but he's a guard that I think any college coach would love to have. And, I think his experience, his leadership, his toughness, those are all things that are going to help his teammates through our long journey.
I already said you're on him to be more aggressive. How do you go about making that happen in a game situation moving forward?
Some of it is just for him to go through this. This is his second game in the United States. He was very, very tentative in the first half, especially rebounding the ball. That's to be expected. He probably should be if you think about it. But in the second half, he really put it together. Obviously, offensively, 21 points, 8 for 8 from the line, but 7 rebounds, considering he had 0 at the half. That's what I'm really excited about. He played the 34 minutes with 0 turnovers, and he's obviously a very talented player.
You asked him about his range. Obviously, we know about his long distance range, but what about his 12-footer, 15-footer? He said he's working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some maybe things that he needs to work on that part of his game?
No, I think just making sure that he utilizes, and we always utilize his great size, because he's 7 feet. So being able to get him the ball in and around the rim, some of it is what he did in the second half, where you get a second shot. He gets tip-ins and second shots, especially if he gets fouled. He's an excellent free throw shooter, and that's really going to help us. So we just always want to guard against him just shooting perimeter shots. Of course, he can do that. In the first half, you saw he made the one more pass, the extra pass, but yet he was wide open. In halftime, it was like, hey, look, if you get an open opportunity, there's nobody here who has a better chance to make that three-point shot. Take it. So he's very unselfish, and he's young. So every time that he goes out there, I think every day that we work, he's going to be that much better. And that's the thing about, like, a year ago. We played this team a year ago, and there are some things that we didn't do real well, especially defensively. But we had a lot of older guys. So I don't know how much upside we had. This year, whether we were good or not tonight, we have a lot of new faces that are going to only get better from this point on.
What do you see as Raleigh's role? What do you want from him, kind of ideally, his role?
Well, one of the things that I think Raleigh's done a great job of in practice that he hasn't yet in the game is offensive rebound. He's big and strong. He gives us that third guy on the offensive glass. He does a little bit of everything. He's really important to our team. He didn't maybe play as well tonight, but he's one of those guys that I'm talking about, and that he was really tested. I mean, playing against ball movement and players who can shoot the three and drive. And then offensively, they played a matchup zone. They played a straight traditional 2-3 zone and a man-to-man. I guarantee you he hasn't faced something like that. And quite frankly, we weren't really ready for the matchup this early in the year. So with that, I think he'll get more comfortable every time that he goes out there. But he's a heck of a player, a great kid. Tonight he didn't play as well, but I thought it was a really good learning experience for him.
Sean, with Ray's decision to retire, what can you share about those conversations and what you said to him and what he said to you about going about that process?
Well, Ray he's a phenomenal kid, and he's somebody that we're going to miss on the court. But him leaving us, and he may leave us as a player on the court, but he's forever a part of our program and team. Obviously an incredibly intelligent young man, very charismatic. One of the saddest things that I've seen, considering that he's 19 years old, it's almost like he's finishing up his college career as a fifth-year senior, and we're going to wave goodbye to him. Ray's just starting; he's 19. So, but he's got a big future. Obviously, you can learn a lot about someone to see how well you can handle such a tough circumstance, and he's handled it as well as ever can be expected. Let me say this about him. In my opinion, whenever his time would have left on the court, I think he had a really, really good chance to be a high pick in the first round. His athletic talent, 6'8", he has the size. He's your prototypical NBA small forward. So, he's not just a college player that lost his way or the rest of his career. He's somebody who lost a career way beyond Arizona. So, with that, that's a tough hit. It's a tough hit for him and his family. It's a tough hit for all of us. But, I think, for us, it's keeping him with us and making sure that he gets to his finish line.
What kind of role will he help you with here?
In the short term, he's not going to travel with us to Hawaii, and he has to get surgery, unfortunately. I think when we get back and he gets through the surgery, and we're really going to iron out, I think, some real concrete things that he can do on an everyday basis, certainly on game day, and he's going to travel with us and be a part of our season and everything that we do.
What does it say about him, just seeing the perspective he seems to have even at 19 years old, just doing his message, and you see him out there and he's still smiling and kind of taking pictures of the fans and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal kid, but, he's hurting. Make no mistake. I mean, when he goes home and, he's by himself, and he just doesn't shrug it off. And this is something that you don't see very often. I know in the 25 years that I've been involved in college basketball, no player that I've been around has gone through such hardship injury-wise that he has. So another thing about Ray is he's a late bloomer. He wasn't an anointed McDonald's All-American as a sixth grader. I mean, he came on the scene in junior, ninth, 10th grade, and he by leaps and bounds, he became one of the best as a junior in high school. So a lot happened to him quickly, and then a lot was taken away from him quickly. But every year provides its set of challenges, and we've certainly had ours around here the last year and a half. And it's up to us to move on, learn from it, and we got a big season ahead of us. And tonight was a great test, and hopefully we'll learn and get better from it.
How concerned are you about outside shooting as well as rebounding heading into Michigan State this Friday?
I am. I'm concerned about a lot of things. We're very much a work in progress. I think Chance Comanche being a part of our team versus him not playing at all affects a lot of things. And it's not the cure-all, but believe me, I'm around him every day in practice. He's a big part of what we're doing, and that's going to really help our depth. Same thing with shooting. It's tough to judge us right now because we have a lot of guys that haven't really shot college threes. Like watching Lowry tonight, I think you can see he can really shoot it. If you watched him in our first game, he might not have looked as comfortable. So every day that we go by, I think we'll get more and more comfortable.
Was there just a thought with going with the 7 guys, with Chance coming back, whether he does or not, but just that you might have this situation down the road to see what happens with a few guys out there, a little shallower rotation you usually have? I mean, we're curious to see how that worked, how guys handled that many minutes. I mean, Lowry played 34.
Yeah. No, but believe me, there's a negative effect to that. You can get away with it over a short period of time, maybe in a single game, but just in the Pac-12 playing a Thursday, Saturday, it's hard to play with great effort for that long of a period of time when you play 2 games in 3 days. So I think we'll welcome back Chance as our 8th guy. Hopefully, we can get through things injury-free. Foul trouble is a big deal. We had a few things happen in the first half where, a guy like Kadeem, you can't try to steal the ball 40 feet from the basket. Parker, I think, fouled his guy on an underneath out-of-bounds play. Those are things that they would have done a year or 2 ago. On this year's team, they can't do that.
Along those lines, how do you walk that line of being aggressive offensively and defensively, because you only have a short bench? It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, it is, but there's a lot of teams who can do it with 8. And I think we have to be smart with how long we practice, but yet we still have to work and get a lot of things accomplished every day. Our players have to do a really good job of taking care of themselves. And again, where I think 8 affects you a little bit more is with foul trouble. So, being smart with our fouls. For the most part, we did a pretty good job there. They ended up shooting 10 free throws, and which is great. 40-minute game, they shot 10, and they really tried to drive it, where we shot 36. So that was a big reason we won. 31 for 36 from the line, 6 turnovers in the month of November. Those are 2 stats that I think we can point to as good things.
Was you said Chance initially? You said Chance was indefinite. Would you see a corner turn there or something where you're thinking maybe he does come back now?
I'm anticipating Chance making the trip with us to Hawaii, and as long as everything holds steady through tonight and tomorrow, I see him being able to play against Michigan State.
You said Ray won't say, but would you take Alonzo? I know that situation's still where it is, but
Ray's not going to travel. I'm not able to comment on Alonzo.
okay. Even if you were going to take him around, who knows, or do you know, or you just don't want to say?
Who's that? No.
Alonzo, I'm just wondering, are you even going to bring him? Even if you don't know what's up with the situation, does he go with you? That's all I'm
I'm not going to comment on Alonzo.
Coach, last year you had a lot of injuries, and that affected your practice. Would you say that this year you guys have been able to practice the way you want to?
Yes, because the guys who can't play in the game can practice. So it's just odd. We're a different team in practice than we are in a game because we have, right now, several guys that are good players, guys that we're really counting on, returners that are with us, but not in the structure of a game. So.
Coach, after Tuesday's game, you mentioned the need to possibly play your walk-on guys because of your lack of depth. Just what is your thought moving forward with their roles and your expectations for them?
Yeah, they have to be ready. We worked hard to get them ready. There was a chance we could have put them in the game, but it was such a battle where we were playing from behind a lot in the first half. And then once we got into the second half, we stuck with our group of 7 because we weren't in dire straits with foul trouble. If we would have had a player 3 or 4 fouls, 4 fouls early in the second half, then I think each of those 3 guys has to be ready. But, you know, that's the thing about a college basketball program. Everybody who's a part of what we do is important, and especially in our current situation.
Thanks, guys.
And one more?
Yeah, with what you already know about Lowry, Cody, and Raleigh working with them until now, how do you expect them to react the first game against Michigan State, national TV under the lights?
You know, we won't know until we get there. That's the hard part. You know, it's we don't have an experienced team, so we'll learn a lot about these guys when once we get there.
Well, this week ahead, you got 1 day here of practice. Does that make it for kind of an unusual?
Yeah, we're going to take Tuesday off and travel, and on tomorrow will be a very light day. Tuesday's our day off.
Yeah.
We don't get you again, we probably won't get you again. No.